Greetings, Heavy Metal Truckers here. So, in these videos, we tend to take a listen to some metal, we give our honest thoughts about it. Could be simple, could be in depth, but it all just depends on what we're thinking, if anything at all. So, in this one, we are actually taking an album review of the latest album from Dir En Grey. Mortal Downer, I believe it was called. Yes. So, with that being stated, let the review commence.
All right. So, I've heard of Dir En Grey. Honestly, do not know when I first heard of them. But
I didn't introduce you, did I?
Album, no.
Okay, I didn't think so, but it's just making sure.
Yeah, no, this album was the first time I've actually listened to them. I've just heard of them before. Couldn't tell you when I heard of them. And it was probably somewhere in the late 20-teens, somewhere around there. But, yeah, no.
You said the late 20-teens?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay.
You might have mentioned them, but that's probably...
I may have, but I think that was also a time whenever we were kind of not speaking all that much. I mean, we didn't completely cut out, but we just weren't speaking as much.
Well, we had busy schedules.
Yeah.
So getting into the album, was pre-warned that it was kind of a longer album.
You're welcome.
But it had more songs
14 tracks
to it.
And 14 tracks.
Yeah.
Some of them were short though, but
yeah, no, I mean it was still only like 45 minutes long, but
56
more
minutes.
tracks.
This?
Oh, never mind. Just kidding. But yeah, no. Anyway, getting into the album, I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what it was going to be like.
Oh, I never told you. That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing. And
it's better that way.
Oh, way better.
Honestly, I still don't know what to. what I'm
not surprised. I am not surprised for you. I really am not.
Yeah.
Like, because I think Doppler and I might have been thinking the same thing. Like, we were really wondering where his mind's going to go on this.
Yeah.
My mind couldn't fully grasp because it felt like it had like bits of metalcore. It felt like it had some darker stuff. It felt like it definitely felt a little bit similar to some what was that freaking Japanese band that we listened to? Jaluka?
Yeah, Jaluka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it felt like it might have had some...
Deathcore, yeah.
Oh well, that.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, it
put everything in metalcore just because it's easier.
I know. I know. I'm aware.
But I mean, it felt like it kind of was all over the place, but it was cohesive all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what they're known for.
Very much so.
Yeah. So I really still have no idea what to think of them.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not surprised.
I didn't dislike the album. It was actually quite enjoyable. It was just, what am I still listening to?
They're very dynamic.
Yeah, basically. Like, so I feel like I really need to give them a big, strong time of day because, like, I did listen to them. I actually did not procrastinate this time. I listened to them earlier.
I'm impressed.
Earlier in the week, and then I went back and listened to them a little bit yesterday and today just to try to refresh, and it was still confusing as to what I'm supposed to think. Didn't dislike them. I really didn't. So like I'm gonna put my my rating at a just solid straight 3. I don't know
Fair.
if it should be higher. I don't know if it should be lower.
Do me a
my
favor.
rating is just as confused as I am.
Do me a favor. If you're confused by this album, there's an album I recommend from them for you. I want to say it's Ouroboros, but I'm not 100% certain. Hold on.
Could be. That's about the time I found him.
Let's see here really quick. I swear if it's on here.
Well, I will say to finish off my bit of review.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like I should probably go and listen to something else by them besides this album, just to get an idea. Maybe get an idea of what I really think of them. But it wasn't difficult to listen to at all. It was just, what am I supposed to rate this? I felt like a 3 was a pretty biased answer that would give me like a solid like foot to stand on, some solid ground to stand on. I don't know. Confusing my words too.
That's what it was. Vulgar. That's what I'd recommend for you. That was released in 03.
Vulgar.
Vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the album or is that?
That's the Vulgar is the album.
Okay.
There's actually 3 albums I recommend for you. That'd be Vulgar, Dom Sparrow, and Ouroboros. Which I'll put in our group chat so you can remember.
Yeah, and procrastinate on.
Exactly. We get to it 3 years.
Yeah, basically. I still need to listen to Bloodbath. That's been like 3 or 4 months since you mentioned it to me.
See what we got to put up with.
Hey, Mr. Analytical and Technical Issues.
No.
But that's I don't necessarily know what else I could say about them. So.
All right, we're good. What?
Okay.
Okay, nice.
All right, so my turn, I suppose. I first discovered Dir En Grey late 2000, so probably around the time that Ouroboros came out. And initially, I was definitely captivated by them because, as anybody who knows, I like the weirder the better. And they always have been pretty darn weird. They are one of those bands, especially in the earlier days, that much better live than on an album. Partially because of just their stage show. Like they are one of the pioneers of visual Kai. They're not as much so today, but they are kind of like when you.
That's also because I feel like Kyo had to calm the fuck down.
Well, yeah, he did. He absolutely did. But yeah, he used to do all sorts of crazy shit. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
Dude went all out to the point he damn near destroyed his voice multiple times. But anyway.
Well, yeah, I was going to say he had to. People thought he had gotten vocal surgery, but that was never confirmed. He was told that he was developing polyps on his vocal cords, and he stopped.
I want to say, I can't remember, but I know there has been other vocalists that have had to have polyps removed, and I don't know if he was one of them or not. But
I want to say Ollie Sykes was as well. He might have been.
Yeah.
But anyways,
possibly.
So I was definitely intrigued and interested in listening to this album. And weird. This ended up actually kind of being a weird album for me, because in the first couple songs, like the first 2 or 3, I was like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this.
Not so easy, is it?
Yeah. Well, let me finish.
I was about to say.
But as the album went on, it sucked me in more and more and more, to where by the end of it, I was all for it. I was all in. I was enjoying every damn second of it by the end of it. It was weird. It was like as it went on, it grew on me and grabbed hold of me, and to where by the end, even though it was 14 damn songs, I wanted it to keep going. I don't know if I have a favorite, but there were several I did enjoy. I really liked Void. I remember that. Shit, what was the other one called? The Hizumi to Ami, that one.
Yep.
That was another good one. I don't want to say I necessarily had a least favorite, just because I don't know if it was just because I listened to it yesterday. So those first couple songs that didn't grab me, I don't know if it was because I didn't necessarily care for them, or just because maybe it just wasn't right necessarily in the headspace I needed to be yet when I started getting into them or into this album. But as always, extremely progressive. They're one of the more progressive bands out there. Off the wall crazy, which I'm all about. And it's not just musically wacky, it vocally it's wacky because he's all over the place.
Oh dear Lord, yes.
But ultimately, yeah, by the end of it, I was thoroughly enjoying it. Which I was hopeful going into it I would, because I know I like a lot of what they do, and this album did work out that way for me. So as a score, I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. So for me, I first discovered Dir En Grey actually from a friend of a she who must not be named type of person. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I had heard of the group and I'm like, okay, that sounds a little odd. Which her friend was big into the Japanese culture, and I think she was actually trying to be a Japanese English teacher, if I remember correctly. She'd actually gone over to Japan numerous times to see them, and she had shown us tickets and visas of going over to Japan to see them. Because they don't really play over here all that much at all, to my recollection. But I want to say that the first track I listened, because I didn't know who the fuck they were at all, I just heard they were odd but good, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure how that works, but okay. Of course, like I feel like most people, the first fucking track I heard was Obscure. And I'm like, you have to bear in mind, this is the days where I'm still kind of into the old school Whitechapel. So I heard this, I'm like, this dude is fucking insane. Like, and the quick succession of him switching vocal styles on a dime probably developed to his polyp development, because this dude just switched at the flip of a switch. And he wouldn't just do it on the album that way, he would do it live too. And so I was just absolutely amazed, and instrumentally they're fucking phenomenal. And so I just got into a massive sync, and I obtained just their entire discography and just delved into them, and I was just absolutely captivated. And then I ended up kind of dropping off a little bit once I got more into black metal, but I still knew of them, and if they were playing, I would have no issues listening to them because they're that damn good. But I did try listening to an Isolated World or that album whenever it came out, and it was intriguing. I do know that Kyo it seemed like he was starting to go more of a clean vocal style, which, knowing the history, I understood why, but I'm like, I miss your insanity and the unclean vocals. And so I still enjoyed it for what it was. but I heard they were coming out with a new album. I'm like, no shit, they're still going. And so went into this just not knowing what to expect, because anyone who fucking knows Kyo knows he is one of the most unpredictable people as a vocalist. And but yet their instrumentalists and the musicians are just nearly always on point. And so I'm like, I'm gonna try and keep an open mind, but more than likely I'm gonna enjoy this. The very first track, which was pretty much like a soundscape kind of thing, which I want to touch on that. This album was not atmospheric. It was a soundscape encompassing that they were able to create so many psychoacoustics going on, like within this ether, that it just transfixed you. And so the second track came on, and I'm so fucking tired, I don't remember what it's called. But all I do remember is I'm like, this sounds like if Tool was tolerable. Sorry, I just pissed off a bunch of people, I know. But like it, and yes, he said pretty much the same phrase in so much succession, but it was a tribal, it felt like a perfect opening to an album, and I fucking loved it. And then it got into it, and he was of course doing a mix of clean and unclean vocals, and his vocals are almost in some portions part of the soundscape, which sorry, got here. In some portion I would get a little bit ticked whenever it didn't sit the way I typically mix, but I keep in mind Dir En Grey is an entirely different entity, and they have developed their own personality. It doesn't matter how you mix. Like, they have their sound that they have developed over many years. And so I kept that in mind, because I'm like, they're fucking good at what they do, and whatever engineer gets after them, for the most part, does extremely well. So I kept that in mind, and I was just so in tune to everything, and absolutely loving it. Like, even some of the things where it's like I prefer his insane unclean vocals much more, just what I like. But even his clean vocals are some of the most hauntingly beautiful that there are, and I was just loving every aspect of this album. I couldn't give you a favorite track on it, but I do know that there was one where they went back to the old days, and he just ripped it, and almost brought a tear to my eye, because it was so amazing. But the great thing was, I'm thinking to myself, that's probably the last track, and then another track would come on, and I'm like, oh, more. So similar to what Doppler was going through. And so by the end of it, I'm like, this is one of the most impressive albums I have heard in a long time. The last time I was this impressed by an album, though I kind of knew it could be impressive, was whenever Opeth released The Last Will and Testament. So with this, how well musically it was, how phenomenal vocally it was, I had to give this no less than a 4. I was struggling between a 4 and a 4.5, but I think I still have to give it a 4, because I could never focus enough to be able to give it a analytical decision, because I kept on getting transfixed into what they were doing. So fuck you. Thank you, Dir En Grey.
They're one of those bands that to truly, which just hurt me a little bit, but you have to listen to them more than once to catch everything that they're doing.
I listened to it 5 times.
Oh, yeah. That's more than me. I'll listen to it again eventually. A, because I want to, but B, because I'm curious to see what I pick up that I didn't the first time.
Yes, exactly. This is an album that will grow on you, and you'll begin to hear more than you did before, just because it was that well mixed. And let me tell you, the drums, oh my god, were the drums phenomenal. And I could hear the panning that they were doing to create a stereo image of them. I'm like, So yeah, seriously enjoyed it, and it's a damn shame they may not come to the US for this one. I don't know, but hell, you know, they did it, probably couldn't afford it. too anyway, but still, the fact remains. But yes, if you guys have any more recommendations for Japanese metal that we haven't already done, because we've done a shitload of Japanese metal, or anything obscure within the Japanese metal, more obscure, let us know and we'll check it out eventually. So there is that review. I am sorry if I was kind of confusing, because I'm very fucking tired right now. So until next time, whether musically, lyrically, or literally, keep rolling heavy. And I'm amazed I was able to say that.
Good stuff.